Broadcasting from Cincinnati, you're listening to the Ringside Reporter podcast. All the news from the world of boxing right here.
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you.
Now, here's your host, Eric Lorda.
And we are live. Welcome to the Ringside Reporter Show, where we talk about the latest boxing news. If it's related to boxing, we'll talk about it right here. My name is Eric Lorta, and I'm here with my co-host, Joe Habib. We got a great show for you today, and if you want to call in, 323-870-3857. And in case you're wondering, yes, Blog Talk should be working today. There you go. All right, let's get it started. ESPN. Beeb, this was a shocker, man. Derek Chisora versus Joe Joyce. Derek Chisora beats Joe Joyce in a Fight of the Year candidate. Scores were 97-92, 96-94 twice, all for Chisora, unanimous decision. Both fighters, man, put everything out there, man. Joe Joyce does not move his head at all. I don't know. I mean, there's no real reason that Chisora should even have been in this fight. But Joe Joyce, you know, he should have used his jab. He didn't. There was no movement from Joe Joyce at all. All that being said, he made it an exciting fight. You know, it was a really good fight. I liked it. And listen, I can't say I didn't enjoy watching Derek Chisora win that fight. That was great. It really was. But I believe that Joe Joyce is done. I believe those two knockouts by Zhang, this one here, he got knocked down in the 9th round here. And that shot that Chisora hit him with, he should have never got hit with. I mean, Chisora was dead tired against the ropes, and he countered him, and he just put him square down, man. Joe Joyce did not look good at all. I mean, it was bad. It was like, you know, and Chisora, we remember his last fights. He hasn't looked great either, but he looked like a whirlwind in this fight, man. He's, you know, if Chisora wants to, he's got another shot at another big payday or something like that if he needs it. If he wants it, I think it's probably going to be there. But as for Joe Joyce, man, he's going to have to head out to pasture, man, because he's done.
Yeah, he's getting old too.
Yeah, well, that's that too. Yeah, that too. But just that shot, when I saw him get hit with that shot in the 9th,
yeah,
there's no reason he should have gotten hit with that shot.
It's crazy too, because it looked like Chisora was going in the 8th, because Chisora was hurt in the 8th round, and then you know, he comes right back in round 9, which was amazing how he was able to regroup himself and come back and get that second wind, and ended up finishing the fight strong. He looked like Jersey Joe Walcott in there against Joe Joyce, because we knew Joe Joyce is not the fastest guy in the world, but it was almost like I was watching the fight with slow motion camera playing it back to me, because it was crazy, man, how much slower Joe Joyce has gotten over these last few fights. I mean, like I said, he was never a whirlwind. He was never Barry Allen the Flash, but he looked really slow. And Chisora did very well on the inside. He got low, got up underneath a lot of the shots from Joe Joyce, and Joe Joyce had a hard time pinning him down. And you know, Chisora's defense wasn't that bad for most of the fight. He got caught like later in the fight, but you know, for the first 5 or 6 rounds, he wasn't really getting hit too bad. And yeah, he looked good. He looked good, and he was able to really put the pressure on and get in Joe Joyce's chest, particularly on the inside. That was the problem for Joe Joyce. He needs a little bit of space, and Chisora, as we know, never likes to give a guy space if he can help it, and he smothered him like a blanket yesterday.
Yeah, I tell you, you know what's bad though? Like his best outing was against Daniel Dubois, the guy who quit in the fight. It was his best. What'd I say?
You always have to do that to Daniel Dubois.
I didn't even do anything.
Always. This guy's redeemed himself.
I didn't even do
this
anything.
This guy's redeemed himself time and time again, and you still have to revert back to that. He had retinal bleeding. That eye was moving around in the orbital.
I don't know what kind of bleeding he was.
He could have gone blind. I mean, he's got a family.
Really?
And he needs to preserve his vision.
Blind? Is that what did you just say?
He needs to preserve his vision so he could have continued on in his career. And you just like to gloss over the fine details of the situation. You never want to really describe it. You just try to shame this guy over and over again. And you know what he keeps
I wasn't even talking about that guy.
Proving you wrong. Time after time. He knocked out Miller. And then he goes and
knocked out Miller. What Miller?
And then he goes out and knocks out Hrgović. And now he's fighting.
Hrgović.
Now he's been elevated.
He's still around?
He's been elevated to the full IBF heavyweight champion, and he's going to be fighting Anthony Joshua. And then if he ends up doing it again, which he won't, he can do, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Anthony Joshua is going to kill that guy. Anywho, all right. So so he'll be quitting after that fight too. Listen, that was the best I've ever seen Joyce look is in that fight. He used his jab.
What about the Joseph Parker fight? That was a good fight too. You don't like that?
It was a good fight too. It was a good fight too. But I tell you, like I said, man, this is the one where we watched it. We watched both of these guys come up, and the way he handled that fight, I thought was the best I've seen him. It really was. Technically, best I've seen him. And he is so far gone from that guy right there.
Oh, yeah.
That guy right there would have stopped Derek Chisora. You know what I mean? And he had the jab going and everything like that. And there was none of that. I mean, none of it this weekend. It was bad. I mean, it was really bad. And take nothing away from Derek Chisora, but we expected. I mean, he was a 5-1 underdog. Chisora was. So everybody knew Chisora's track record. I mean, that's why it was so shocking. But I will tell you this, and I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion here. This is going to be a real unpopular opinion.
Okay.
If Arturo Gatti belongs in the Hall of Fame,
don't do it.
Yeah. Derek Chisora belongs there too.
He's never won a heavyweight title.
I don't care. I don't care. If you're going to put Arturo Gatti in the Hall of Fame based on what? Based on what? Exciting fights? Because that's the only yardstick.
World champion. Wow. You are over the top disrespectful today.
Stop it. The only yardstick they got today, Arturo Gatti.
The level of disrespect is off the charts today.
Oh, that's cold-blooded, man. The only yardstick they got for Arturo Gatti is that he was in exciting fights. He didn't do anything extraordinary as far as titles go. And if that's going to be your bench, all I'm saying is if that's going to be your benchmark, then let this guy through.
You always got to denigrate Arturo Gatti, man. The guy can't rest in peace. It's a shame.
And not to mention, if they're going to put him in there,
that goes out to his family. They have to listen to this.
They have to listen to this.
Listen,
man. I love Arturo Gatti is fighting and everything.
Blasphemy.
But and I know he doesn't belong in the Hall. He doesn't.
All right, come on, just let him in.
Gatti has legendary nights. Chisora does not. HBO wasn't a copy.
Let his family enjoy the honor, man.
Gatti at least has a couple division belts. Mayorga class of 2026. Chisora beats Justin Wayne said Chisora beats Wilder. I don't hate that. I don't hate that fight. I really don't.
A lot of guys beat Wilder now. A lot of guys.
I like to see Joyce and Deontay Wilder,
I think Mike Montero would beat Wilder right now.
Wow. Come on. That's just gone way too far. That's just gone way too. What's wrong?
Have you ever seen Mike Montero throw down, man?
I have. I
mean,
you said he wasn't that good, but I kept telling you, no.
That guy's better than good. You got to start showing that guy some respect.
You got to start showing that guy some respect because every time
he rains down on you, man. He rained down on you like the Orpheans did to the Warriors.
Don't even start that. Don't even start that. I'll go down like the Furies, man. Remember the baseball Furies?
I knew they were wimps. I love that movie.
I love how they just come up out of the subway and grab their bats or whatever. Like their bats are just going to be there in New York. You know what I mean? Like he just came out of there and picked them up.
You know what the worst part about that movie is? When the riffs are like down in the basement and the guy goes, "Who are the Warriors?" Dude, you invited them to the conclave. How do you not know who they are? Jesus Christ, you invited them.
In fairness to the riffs, they invited a lot of guys to the conclave. They invited a lot of gangs.
You had to write the names on the invitations to the people who were going to the conclave. You had to know their names.
What do you think they had to RSVP and everything like that? You think it was that like they had to RSVP? They were coming.
They're official. They have a staff. They do that stuff.
Stop.
Please.
Who was it? It was Cleon, right? They got arrested. They got mauled by the Riffs.
Yeah, he got mauled. And you see, when you watch these Bruce Lee
Swan
movies,
was a better leader anyway. But Swan
when
was
you
a better
watch these
leader
Bruce
anyway.
Lee movies and you see everyone surrounding Bruce Lee and they come at him one at a time. No, that's how a group of people take down one person. They just maul them like that. They all jump in and rush him. Not like this one at a time Bruce Lee stuff.
Just Dwayne says he thinks Beeb beats Montero.
No, man.
Tony Yayo says Montero beat a fat Slav. Dude was easily 300 pounds.
That guy was
I was not 300 pounds when I fought Montero. Okay, that's a big difference.
That guy was a good fighter. Don't try to diminish Montero's victory, please.
Tell you what, I told you.
Don't take away from Montero's victory.
Anybody out. Him scoring a knockout.
Not one of you guys would ever walk up to Montero and ever say negative things to his face. You know you wouldn't. Aren't you cowards?
Oh my goodness.
When I'm in Georgia, I pay Montero $200 an hour just to walk with me, man, because he's official.
He's one of our bodyguards. Because we get mauled everywhere we go. Got to have somebody there. All right. On the undercard of Chisora Joyce was Moses Atama versus Marius Walk, former champ Marius Walk. Atama beats Walk by KO in the second round. Yeah, Marius Walk. He's still around. He's 44. It's over for you, son. Got knocked out in the second round. Son, it's over. All right. And then Brandon Lee and Juan Anacona fought. Brandon Lee won a unanimous decision, 78-74. I don't know what's going on. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. I expected Brandon. This was a showcase fight for Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
He should have came out there and been a whirlwind and all that other stuff. And he just kind of laid an egg here, to be honest with you. Nope. That's not good, man. That's not good. All right, let's get to the other one, man. This is crazy. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this happened. All right. So in the Philippines, they had a fight. It's an exhibition fight. Manny Pacquiao versus Rukia Anpo from Japan. This was an exhibition. It was 3 rounds, no score. Anpo is a K1 kickboxing champion. He completely dominated Manny Pacquiao. This was bad. I mean, this was really bad. Pacquiao looked every bit of his age. He had 0 footwork, 0 upper body movement. His reflexes completely gone. He would have been demolished. He was trying to get you know how he was trying to get the Olympics? He would have been demolished in the Olympics, son. I don't even know that he makes it out of the first round. The first round of the Olympics, man. He would have lost his first fight. He'd have been out. He looks so bad. The proposed Mario Barrios fight may be off the table. If it's not off the table, it should be, because nobody
be off the table after seeing that.
Nobody
anyone sanctions that.
If
anyone sanctions that, then they're a disgrace for doing so.
Yeah. Justin Wayne says, are Floyd and Manny hurting for cash?
Possibly.
Listen, I don't have their bank accounts, but let me tell you this. If he's fighting exhibitions and looking to fight Mario Barrios, my guess would be probably.
Yeah.
And with Floyd Mayweather, he's going to fight John Gotti Jr. again.
Yeah.
Or John Gotti III, or whoever the guy is.
Yeah,
he's
John
fighting.
Gotti III, I think his name is.
Dude. Yeah, for sure. Because there was no unanswered questions in the first fight. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
It's not.
So he absolutely needs a payday, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, JC says Pac-Man, a lot of miles on the odometer. It was nuts. And like I said, I didn't even realize until this morning that it happened. I went and looked up the fight. I sent it over, man. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Glad you sent it to me, man, because it lets me know where Manny Pacquiao's at. Next time I hear someone say, I want to fight Manny Pacquiao.
No movement? I mean, his movement's completely gone.
Yeah, Conor Ben was supposed to be a potential opponent at one point. Now we hear Marios. We don't need to see that either.
No. And people were speculating that, it might be a competitive fight with Barrios. It ain't. Trust me, it's not competitive at all.
See, people don't understand, like, Barrios can fight. Like, he gave Tank all he could handle in that fight.
He can absolutely fight.
He's a decent fighter, man. He's solid.
Yeah, he's a solid fighter, man. And then, like I said, man, anybody who's a solid fighter is going to be Pacquiao right now.
Absolutely.
And Pacquiao, I'll tell you what, physically, he looked good. He looked good. I mean, he was at weight and everything like that. He looked really good.
In really good shape.
But he got rocked by that guy a number of times in just 3 rounds. The guy hit him with a short right hand. He had to hold on. It was bad, man. And at no point was Pacquiao in the fight. Did he hurt the other guy? His movement, like I said, man, he didn't move much. Just, didn't lumber exactly, but he just wasn't moving.
Right.
No head movement. His speed was gone. Yeah, the fact that anybody, they were talking about him fighting professionally. Stop it. He's done, man. Nobody wants to see that.
That's
yeah,
right.
it was sad. It was really
Very
sad.
sad.
And I'm glad it was just like, it was, against this exhibition guy. This guy wasn't even a professional boxer. He was a K1 boxer.
K1 guy, yeah.
K1 kickboxer. And not that those guys aren't good, but again, as I say it all the time here, those are different sports. Different sports. So, yeah, it was bad, man. So hopefully the Barrios fight is off the table. It sucks for Barrios because, he's going to lose a lot of money, I'm sure, but trust me, it's just better for you, So that was it. That was it for this weekend's action.
History was made.
What happened? Stop.
Clarissa Shields
Stop it.
joins the company of Sugar Ray Leonard and Floyd Mayweather Jr., another fighter winning titles in 5 different weight classes, and only the second fighter in the last 100 years to win a title at middleweight and heavyweight. And I believe the first title to ever win titles at junior middleweight and heavyweight. History was made last night. Clarissa Shields.
How much do those two broads weigh at the weigh-in?
Like 175.
Yeah, that's heavyweight, huh? Anyway, yeah, so the WBC championship on DAZN. Wasn't this on DAZN?
It was on DAZN. And the vacant WBO light heavyweight title was on the line as well. 2 titles in one night. History was made. History
WBO
was made.
title. The vacant WBO heavyweight title.
The light heavyweight and the WBC
Stop it.
title.
Stop it.
And to put the cherry on top, the WBF heavyweight title was on the line as well. The trifecta.
The WBF?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's another organization,
Oh, my God. I don't even know the other broad who fought her. I really don't. I know Clarissa Shields.
Vanessa LePage, Jonesse.
LePage Jonesse. She fought LePage Jonesse?
Yeah.
Cares.
LePage Jonesse.
Nobody knows who she is.
What a brave young lady that she was. She went out on her shield.
Stop it.
This was a blistering second-round knockout.
Oh,
Clarissa Shields,
God.
She's found her power at the higher weights.
Yeah. Let me just so we can put this in perspective. Yeah, heavyweight. Yeah, Justin Wayne, I was thinking that too. The heavyweight badge is 175, right? All right, just so we can put this all in perspective. All right. On BoxRec, you know how many chicks are in the heavyweight division? 21.
You know why?
Who cares?
There's
only 21.
They all ran out of the division once they realized Clarissa Shields was moving up. They jetted out of there. They bolted. They all bolted.
1,472 heavyweight men in the rankings. You starting to see a difference now?
The misogyny. This misogyny today is on another level. It's on another level.
On another level? What are you talking about? We do this every week, B. And you and I look at for years, even prior to this show, you and I have both went to find boxing news, studied all the fighters, all this. This is what we do. Yeah, it's just our hobby. It's just what we like. I had never heard of the girl that Clarissa Shields fought, ever. I had never heard of her.
This fight will put her on the map. The whole world saw her yesterday.
They saw the referee stepping on her hands is what they saw. What are you talking about? The whole world saw her. Whole world saw me with 50 people in that audience?
Please. She did her best.
She did
Show her some respect. Takes a lot of courage to go in there with someone like Clarissa Shields.
What, did she even get the night off from work, or does she have to go in after the fight? Seriously, like what? What?
That's not right. That's not right. She's trying to put food on the table.
Man, she probably got paid more for working at Waffle House than she did it, working that fight, man. What are you talking about?
That's horrible. Gotta show us some respect.
The misogyny. 21 chicks in the heavyweight division. 21. That's it. No wonder you got all these guys like transforming into chicks to go into play sports,
Whoa. Let's not go down that rabbit hole, please.
I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. Didn't say a word. What's the matter with you? Warrior Way says only heavyweight girls are a couple overweight. Samoan girls in the diabetic anti-Marie.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
please.
Bloody.
This misogyny today is just, I don't know what to say here, man.
Look at you. You voting for Kamala Harris, aren't you?
Well, I don't want to go that far. Talking about boxing there. Maybe I'll listen to that cackle for 4 years or 8 years. There's no way I can listen to that.
Beeves, Mr. Woke today. There's no way you can listen to it for the next 4 to 8 years. What's wrong with you?
There's no way I can listen to that.
Oh my God. Oh man. So Lisa just texted me. She said, I can hear you, right?
No, please. Don't get me started on Kamala, please, because we know she likes Kamala.
I'm sleeping on the couch again today. Says Slick Montel. I didn't know those two dated. Did you know that? He doesn't want to talk about it though.
Oh, I just want to talk about it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to talk about it at all. He must have. I bet he got dumped.
You know why? Because she was a side piece. Like he was like,
Willie Brown or whatever. Was he? Because I know she was with Willie Brown.
Willie Brown, and then also
he was married at the time. But I thought he was married at the time.
Yeah.
So what? Montel was like her side piece or something like that.
Well,
Wow.
Montel. There's pictures of Montel with like another girl and her on his arm. So it's almost like she was like the second chick. Didn't look good, man.
Luis Puente, thank you so much. He said, I have more uncles than women in her divisions. There you go.
Please. See what you do. You incite this behavior in the chat.
I didn't do anything, man. No.
You rile up the base.
I rile up the base.
You rile up the base in the chat. I don't like it.
I agree. Boxing, I agree. Kamala is such a fun, energetic woman that she laughs. That's why she laughs. I agree. I don't mind her. All right. She's cute. I don't mind her.
When she laughs, she's not laughing at, like, there's nothing funny when she's laughing. So.
How dare you? How dare you? You're such a misogynist.
More of a nervous laugh.
A nervous laugh. Stop it. All right. Coming up next week, Eric on some January 6th vibes. That's right. That's why the people love me, Beeb, right there. Eric allows us to be ourselves.
Right.
That's right. That's what it's all about. That's it. That's it. All right. August 3rd, ESPN pay-per-view, the big one next week, August 3rd. Terrence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, 12 rounds for Madrimov's WBA Super Junior middleweight title and the vacant WBO interim junior middleweight title. On the undercard, co-main, Andy Ruiz versus Jarrell Big Baby Miller, 10 rounds heavyweights. Jared Anderson, Big Baby Anderson versus Martin Piccoli, 10 rounds heavyweights. Isaac Cruz versus Jose Valenzuela for Cruz's WBA junior welterweight title. David Morrell versus Radovoj Kaladzic, 12 rounds for the WBA vacant regular light heavyweight title. Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. That card is stacked.
Card stacked, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good card.
That card is stacked. Let's see what else is here. Nothing. They got a girl fight in England. That's it this weekend. That's it. That's the big one. That's the big one.
No, so, it's good. It's good that they only have one card, so we don't have to sit and bounce back and forth and all this and that. So we get to focus on one card. I don't like when they have 3 cards on at the same time. It's aggravating. Yeah,
this is a solid card, though. It really is. Terrence Crawford versus Ismail Madrimov. So who do you have in this one? I got Crawford. I think Crawford wins,
too, but a lot of people are saying
I think by decision. I don't think he knocks him out or anything.
I don't think he knocks him out.
Distance. I think this goes the distance. I think this is a distance fight.
Maybe. I'll pick him by knockout, but you could be right. This guy's very tough.
Yeah. And I think the weight, it'll be interesting to see. It's always interesting to me to see when they go up in weight how their stamina is.
Well, Crawford looks good with this weight. Like, he looks filled out big. He looks
big at this weight.
He doesn't look bloated. He just looks like he's perfectly filled out. So we'll see. Maybe, again, when you get up there in age, It's hard to make these lower weights. 147, you can't stay there your whole career. Like, so I still can't understand why Spence stayed at 147 as long as he did. It was just crazy.
Yeah. I don't know because he was always big. He was always a big guy, man. And then Isaac Cruz and Jose Valenzuela. That should be, Cruz is hit or miss. Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he's just, I don't know.
Hearn loves the guy. He loves him, though.
Does he?
Yeah. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I'm interested to see the David Morrell fight. I want to see him and see how it goes, man. But
I want to see Andy Ruiz because it's been a while since he's been in the ring. So
yeah, that's an interesting fight. I hate that Big Baby Miller is back on the cards, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens.
He should be in jail right now for freaking carjacking.
It's insane. All right, let's bring Robert on here. 530, you're live. Robert.
Hey, Eric, Joe. Good evening, guys.
Hey.
Hopefully I get to see the card this week.
So what'd you think of that Clarissa Shields making history yesterday? Were you excited?
I didn't watch it, Joe.
What a disgrace. That's disgraceful.
I didn't know
that is disgraceful. That was history in the making, and you decided to not even take the time to watch that.
Nope.
What did Mrs. Herrick say?
I can replay it if I...
Oh, yeah, you can replay it if you want. You're not going to get to it. You're not going to get to it. You're going to blow it off. I know you.
Well, I have more important things to worry about.
Now you're going to kick me your misogyny too now. This is horrible, man.
Stop it. Let him talk. Sorry. Go ahead, Robert.
We're in the path of that big major fire, so I got to pay attention to other stuff.
How did that fire start? Yeah, you're in the wildfire thing again. So how did it start?
Yeah.
The heat.
Some idiot either set his car on fire or wrecked his car got out and pushed it in brush and got himself arrested. And it started the seventh. As of today, it's the seventh largest fire in California history, and it's still growing. 353,000 acres so far, and it's destroyed almost 2 full counties, and who knows how many more it's going to attack. They have 5,000 firefighters working on the fire as of today. So
that's crazy.
Jeez.
It's no joke.
So is it in your path? I mean, where your house is and stuff?
We have to pay attention. Our county is not in the evacuation zone yet, but the way it's moving, it very easily could be. This thing has taken off, and unfortunately, because of past political decisions, they're not able to go in and clean up old brush and stuff anymore. The Forest Service can't clean up old trees. They can't get rid of old brush.
Why?
Basically, the California politicians have forbidden that, and it's disgusting.
Why? I mean, I don't know. Why would they do that?
I don't know. Ronald Reagan started this when he was governor of California.
And you got to blame Ronald Reagan. The guy's a legend, for Christ's sakes. Why you have to throw his name under the mud?
Joe, I'm not blaming anybody.
You just blamed it on Ronald Reagan. Can't the guy rest in peace? I mean, the guy is a legend. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall. And then you want to throw dirt on the guy's name.
Well,
sometimes I want to root for you, but I just can't with some of this rhetoric that you spew.
I happen to agree with Eric. Arturo Gotti does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
I told you. I told you.
Where did that come from, Robert? You just swoop in here with this cloud of negativity that we really don't need at this point in time.
Well, I'm not negative, Joe. I'm dealing with real life issues here, and I hope I'm around to watch the card next Saturday. I'm looking forward to it if I'm able to watch it.
Will you pay for it?
Absolutely.
It's a good one. It's not bad.
Of course. I'm always going to pay for His Excellency's card.
That's
Did you
it.
buy that Jake Paul pay-per-view last week?
Stop it.
No.
Liar.
His Excellency had nothing to do with that.
Now you want to ride. Now you want to ride His Excellency's jock all of a sudden.
Oh, stop it! You are. Oh my gosh.
I mean, please, Robert.
He's the best thing that's happened to boxing for a long time.
He's the best thing.
Yes, I am.
Stop it. He said, "Yes, I am." Boxing. Thank you so much. This is a question for you, Robert. He says, "What does Robbie think about or Kamala for president?"
I live in California, and she will probably win the state.
Yeah.
But I will not be one of the people voting for her. She's
Right,
not
Robert.
qualified, in my opinion.
Thank you, Robert.
Oh,
Tell him, Robert.
little misogyny going on here. All right. All right.
Not when it comes to her.
Look, one day we will have a woman for president of the United States, but it will not be this woman.
Tell him,
God help
Robert.
us if it is.
Give him a reality check. Let him know what time it is.
Man, oh man. So, Robert, when will you? I mean, is this like a day by day or hour by hour thing that you just got to wait this out?
It's basically an hour by hour thing. We constantly get updates on our local TV, local radio, on our phones. It's something we've had to watch since the fire started on Tuesday, and we've had to pay attention to it since basically Friday, because this thing has gotten way out of control, and it's in an area where there's a lot of older trees and a lot of brush that the Forest Service has not been allowed to take care of. So
it's like every year, every summer, they have a big fire over there.
So, Robert, let me ask you this: how many days does it usually take for you guys to know when you're in the clear? Because this happens quite frequently over there.
Yeah.
It takes several days because the last time we had to evacuate a few years ago, we were out of our house for about a week.
Now, where do you guys go? Where do you guys even go?
Where do you go? To the Comfort Inn?
A hotel or something, or what?
Go to the Comfort Inn?
Last time we had to go to a hotel, but now the area that's being affected may affect where we go. So we're trying to figure out
What's Western you go?
where our location would be if we have to leave.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
the problem is, the problem is further north of us, there's also a big fire in Oregon. Because remember, I'm only 2 hours from the Oregon border, and they're dealing with a big fire up there too. So we can't necessarily go in that direction.
What is Gavin Newsom? What is Gavin Newsom doing in these situations, Robert?
Well, he's called for a federal state of emergency for the various counties affected, but really that's all.
What good does
that's
that
all
do?
he can do. But I was.
Guy's the worst governor in the country.
What is he supposed to do?
Unfortunately, a lot of people who have homeowners insurance now.
They put people up in hotels. Why can't he just put? They put certain people up in hotels. Why can't they put Robert up in a hotel?
Yeah, you know what? That's true. Like, okay, so the people affected. Okay, so let me ask you this, Robert. So, like, the people affected, do they get any kind of like vouchers or anything to go to hotels or anything, or any kind of places to stay? They just say get out.
No, you don't get no voucher. You have to take care of it yourself.
Oh, they got to pay for it, man.
To have insurance.
They got to pay for it.
If you're in our case, the last time we did it, we had to pay for everything ourselves. Luckily, our insurance company paid us back. You know.
All right.
So, but not everybody in the state, because of what's going on here, not everybody in the state has insurance anymore because the insurance rates are so out of whack.
That's how they are in Florida too. Yeah, that's what they said in Florida. A lot of people, they're not even offering insurance on a lot of things anymore, like a lot of areas down there, from what I understand.
And I'm afraid, Eric, the state of California is going to wind up in the same kind of condition.
Wow.
Because all of these idiots starting fires and things like this.
That's insane. That's insane, man.
Yeah.
Well, be safe out there, man.
I know. I'm looking forward to the card, and I'm willing to pay for it. I hope I get a chance to watch it.
Yeah, you'll be able to go to a bar and watch it, I'm sure. They'll have it out. They'll have that card going. So yeah, you'll be able to see it either way.
I hope so.
Do what?
So, you know, it's a situation that we have to monitor hour by hour, pretty much.
Wow, that's horrible, man. Well, that sucks, man. Thanks for calling. Let's see here. I'm going to put you on hold and be safe, man. If you need anything, give Beeb a call. Okay. Give me a call.
You need to fly. Need me to get you, fly you down here, man? Give you some shelter?
I don't know if I could get her on an airplane, but we'll see.
All right, man. We're going to put you back on hold. Man, that's crazy.
Where's he from? In the San Francisco area?
Well, so he's on the northern part of California, so up by Oakland and Frisco, right? Yeah. But he's still like a ways away from there, like 2 to 4 hours.
This is what bothers me about California. So when President Xi came to visit California, you know, they have the homeless problem in the San Francisco area, right?
Yeah.
They took the people off the streets and they put them up in like hotels and stuff, I guess, for free and everything. Which is, I mean, they should have some type of shelter for the homeless or whatever. There's some charity or something. But so they did that, which I don't really have a problem with. So if they could do that for the homeless people, why could they do that for in situations like this? It's only for a couple, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It really is. I remember like just being in Frisco the one time.
Yeah.
Like stepping over homeless people and stuff because they're sleeping in the doorways and everything.
It's horrible how they have the homeless. Like, but
I heard LA is even worse. I heard LA is even worse.
What that guy Newsom does is he'll like for a day or two he'll put them up in hotels so you know President Xi doesn't have to see like the homeless issue because they want to hide that, right? Which is a horrible thing. Mm-hmm. So why can't they do that to help people up with this wildfire situation?
Yeah, I agree. You know? And Justin Wayne says Robbie by Sacramento. Like I said, he's around those areas, but I still think he's like a couple hours away. He's like he's like north.
Yeah, he's a little north.
And he's like just a couple hours. What did he say? He was a couple hours away from Oregon or something like that. So yeah, he's
Mountain View or something. Mountain View, California, or some stuff like that. Something like that.
I don't know. Let me put out his address real quick. I don't know. You know, but
he's get carried away here. We're not talking about doxing him. Please.
Yeah, man, but that's crazy. That's just crazy, you know. Every year they have like something going on there. It was only like a few years ago, it seems like, where he was in the same situation where they actually had to bump out of there. And like what happens, like, and that's the other thing, like what happens like if your house gets hit and stuff like that? It's like, crazy. Man, that's awful. You know, that and like the hurricanes and everything like that in Florida, you know, like when they have to like leave or evacuate or anywhere in the South or something, it's like, man.
One of the good things about living in Boston, we don't have to deal with that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Here in Titletown, too, we don't deal with anything. It's always sunny here.
Did you know Obama has a house out in Nantucket? Martha's Vineyard, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought they all did. I thought all of them did that. Like all the presidents and stuff like that.
A lot of them have like vacation homes out here in I think Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket.
Is that place nice? I've never been there.
It's like an island. Yeah, it's really nice. It's an island in Massachusetts. Yeah, really nice.
Okay. He's got
an $11 million mansion.
You know, property's not cheap out there either.
No,
not on Martha's Vineyard. You know. Jeez. All right, let's get to our news and rumors, then we'll get back to the phones here in a minute. Riyadh season partners with Golden Boy and Top Rank. They now have Golden Boy, Top Rank, and Matchroom. And Warren?
Got Warren, Matchroom, Top Rank, and
4 of the 5 top promoters. 4 of the 5 top promoters.
Yeah. But they don't have PBC yet.
And PBC, I don't understand PBC.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them.
They've got a partnership with the UFC. Riyadh has got a partnership with the UFC. And everything like that, but I don't understand. Yeah, I really don't. But when Riyadh is in there, those fights become easier to make. You know what I mean? They'll become a lot easier to make. Let's talk about a fight that's not going to be easy to make, but maybe it'll happen. Bob Arum says Lomachenko will wants to spend time with family and rest for the year. He'll be back in early 2025, according to Bob Arum. So that leaves, because Loma was going to fight Tank Davis. That fight's off the table now. So now that leaves Shakur Stevenson with a clear path to Tank Davis for a November date. Beeb, does it happen?
Possible.
I think it could happen.
I
really do. It definitely could happen if Shakur doesn't price himself out. He's got to know he's the B side in this fight.
Yeah.
Like a big B side in this fight.
Yeah.
There's no upside to fighting Shakur in the sense that, like, he's never been on pay-per-view. He's not even selling out his own arena.
Yeah.
He's not, Tank sells out wherever he goes.
And I guess
decent pay-per-view numbers.
I guess Lomachenko said he wanted to fight the winner. That's why he didn't want to fight Tank. He wanted these two guys to fight. And then he said he wanted to fight the winner.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't care what Loma does.
Because this fight's a good fight too. Tank versus Shakur. Because we want to see someone like Tank. What happens if they press Shakur a little bit, or he gets hit with one of Tank's shots? How's he going to be able to deal with that? Because seems like he has a high reluctance to getting hit. Right? No one likes getting hit, but this guy seems to be even more so reluctant than most. So what happens I want to see what happens when this guy does get hit with a really good shot, how he reacts to it, and how he can recover and come back.
I mean, good luck hitting him. You know what I mean? It's hard to lay a glove on that guy, man.
Yeah. Well, again, Tank could be that guy that does it. Who knows?
I would favor Shakur in that fight. I would pick Shakur in that fight. I know a lot of people do, man, but I just don't. He's too good defensively, man. He's just too good. But the problem is, if you're fighting Tank, as we saw in the last fight, you got to put something on him to keep him off you.
Yeah,
because he was completely running at that guy toward the end of that fight.
Yeah,
you got to put something on him.
When Tank decides he wants to pour on the offense, he can pour on the offense.
Yeah, for sure. The WBA, was it Gilberto Mendoza?
Correct. Yeah.
Says that he's open to the possibility of a Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. fight for a title, for a WBA title, not the WBA super title or world title or whatever, just, the America's title or whatever. What is going on here? What am I missing here? Did you guys not watch Chavez Jr. fight? Did you guys not? Yeah. What are we watching? What are we doing now?
We already know we already know what the blueprint is for Jake Paul, and all the power to him. If people are going to pay him, then
But a lot of the stuff
I can't knock his hustle. I can't knock his hustle. If people are going to pay him, then all the power to him, I guess.
Yeah, I agree, but I'm not. I'm not that interested in it.
I'm not buying these pay-per-views. I know Robert's not. I know you're not. I know most people aren't. So again, the market will dictate what you can do, right?
Yeah. What was the? Did anybody get the pay-per-view numbers on the other Jake Paul fight, the one that just happened with Mike Perry?
No, they
didn't release it. That means they suck.
Yeah. When I've been seeing, and it's funny, even with the UFC, since they've gone public, right now they're a publicly traded company. They're involved in a publicly traded company.
Yeah.
Now they don't release the pay-per-views anymore. I noticed, because you can't bullshit the numbers when you're publicly traded. So.
Yeah,
I just find it odd that not like the UFC used to release their numbers too all the time, then they stopped releasing their numbers. So, and it's going to be interesting to see how they do against Canelo when they both fight on that same day on Mexican Independence Day. I think it's September 16th.
And the UFC is the Riyadh season or whatever. The UFC is a part of the Riyadh season. Yeah, and that's going to be the same day as the Canelo fight. That's insane. That's a Mexican Independence Day. Canelo versus David Benavidez on Mexican Independence Day, going against the UFC. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It's not David Benavidez. Shocker. Edgar Berlanga, Beeb. Edgar Berlanga. Beeb, top rank, dropped Edgar Berlanga.
For a reason.
Uh-huh. And now he's getting a title shot with Canelo? Is this happening? Is this happening?
Great fight.
It's a great fight.
Canelo can do whatever he wants. How Canelo moves, so goes the sport of boxing. This guy
carries it on his shoulders.
This guy is a god. He's a legend.
Yep.
I've been told for the last 2 years that Canelo can do whatever he wants, and I just got to sit there and take it. So you know what? You guys have broke me. Right? I'm going to fall in line. You can't fight City Hall any longer. Canelo is that guy.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
He's that guy now. I don't understand, Beeb. Like, so David Benavidez, the fight obviously everybody wanted to see was a David Benavidez fight. I didn't want to see it because I knew it was one-sided. But that being said, I'm probably the only one. So Canelo knows this. David Benavidez moves up, and then the fight with Berlanga gets made.
Yeah.
Help me out with this. I mean, what is he doing? I mean,
well, Turkey Al Sheikh really wants that Crawford fight.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be next. And that fight's very intriguing, you know. But this is a great fight, man. This is Mexico versus Puerto Rico. This is Berlanga's coming out party. This is the old veteran versus the young lion. I mean, you got to get excited for this, man.
Yeah. Are you excited for this?
Oh, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a 15 right now.
What do you think? Canelo knocks him out in what, within 6?
I'm taking the over, man. I think this goes the distance. I think Canelo's going to eke out a split decision, in my opinion.
I'm telling you what, Crawford's going to beat Canelo because that fight's going to happen. That fight is more likely to happen. That fight is more likely to happen than the Benavidez fight. The Benavidez fight is gone.
You know, and I don't feel bad for Benavidez anymore either because if you really wanted that fight, you would have pushed harder for it.
What could he have possibly done?
I don't know, man.
What more could he have done?
This is the problem. It seemed like him and his team kept talking out of both sides of their mouth. And again, you're the one that wants to fight. You're the guy that's actually the hunter. You're not the hunted. Canelo's the champion. He's the A side. He's the hunted, right? He's not going to bend over backwards to fight you. You're the guy that you were the mandatory. Like when Dillian White was the mandatory, he threatened to sue the WBC, and he ended up getting his title shot, right? So again, you're the mandatory. You're not supposed to send letters to Mauricio Sulman and tell him, "Oh, I'm going to fight the winner of Better Be Bivol, and I want to exercise my mandatory status at 175." If you really wanted
the fight was already made. The fight was already made.
If you wanted that fight at 168, then you would have told them. Like they gave you a deadline. They told you could have enforced your mandatory. Now, what happened and what went on behind the scenes? That's a whole nother story. I don't know, but
you could have enforced the mandatory. Sure, Canelo wouldn't have fought him. He would have dropped his belt.
Yeah,
Canelo could care less.
You're right. Well, he dropped the IBF belt, so it's the same. So,
yeah, he dropped the IBF belt. You know, and that's okay. So let's talk about that too. So, so Canelo got stripped of his IBF title for not fighting William Skull.
Yeah.
Who is William Skull?
Yeah, I don't know.
What did he do to get the #1 ranking in the IBF?
I don't know. Because
we usually see contenders coming up, right?
I don't know.
I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's done.
Poker tournament. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Was he working with Clarissa Shields with her dance partner last night or something like that?
Let's circle back to this now, please.
They were both working at the Waffle House.
Let's not circle back to this, please.
I mean, seriously. Now, we just read about a month ago, Canelo and William Skull came to an agreement.
Yeah, there was supposed to be a step aside or some shit.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get step aside money or something like that because I'm thinking there's no way he's fighting this dude.
Yeah.
You know, he'll get crucified. But, I think apparently he just dropped his belt. They just said the heck with the money, and he just dropped his belt, you know. And, I mean, why not? I mean, they're going to tune in. They don't need he doesn't need a title. He doesn't need one. And even if he dropped the WBC title, Sulaiman would be there with a September 16th belt. What do you think? He's going to go to the UFC and give him one? You know what I mean? He'll be there anyway.
What do you think people will be more interested in, the boxing fight or the UFC fight on that day?
The UFC fight, because it's at the Sphere.
Oh, that's right, the Sphere.
It's at the Sphere. It's like a one-time thing, you
know. I think that's the first time they've had an event there, correct? Like for the UFC at least, right?
For the UFC, yeah. And I don't know, after seeing that thing and like seeing the concert there and stuff, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Maestro was in Vegas, and he took a picture of that place. That place is beautiful.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a nice place.
It's incredible, man.
I know that UFC card they did last night wasn't that good. A lot of people are complaining about it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was it wasn't that good. The main event wasn't good at all.
Is it me? Tell me if I'm wrong. Has the UFC lost a little bit of its luster, lost a little bit of its spark?
Well, the thing with the UFC, especially now, is there's no real big stars in it anymore.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have any superstars.
Like GSP, George St. Pierre, he was a big star.
Not doing anything. John Jones has been on the show.
John Jones is still on the show. John Jones is coming back. He's going to fight Stipe Miocic, and Stipe is from Cleveland.
That's a good fight.
But it's not, though, because Stipe hasn't fought in years.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't fought in years, man. And like he's way over. He's way past his expiration date. I'm not saying he can't fight or whatever. I mean, I'm sure he's still in shape. He's a fireman and everything like that. But
who's the English guy that had the interim title?
Tom Aspinall. That's the fight everybody I think wants to see.
Why isn't that fight happening?
Because John Jones doesn't want to fight him. John Jones wants to fight Stipe.
But who's the heavyweight titleist right now? It's John Jones. John Jones still has a title?
Yeah. He beat Cyril Gane for the vacant title.
Okay. But he never got stripped for being out. So they just made they made Aspinall the interim titleist.
Aspinall was the interim. He had fought for the interim title and he won the interim title.
Gotcha.
And Aspinall's good. Aspinall's a really good talent. And he's a young guy.
Jones at this point?
I don't know. I don't know.
Give him a run? You think you at least give him a run though, right?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. John Jones is going to take you down. He's going to take him down, and we're going to see if he can get back up, and that's the thing, that John Jones is just a heck of a wrestler.
John Jones is getting up there in age, too. There's only so much longer he can go.
Well, and we say it all the time, man. Sometimes you walk in there, and you just can't, you go to put your foot on the gas, and you're already at max.
Yeah, you're not moving.
It just is, man. Yeah, you're not moving. So it's we saw Pacquiao, we saw Mayweather, we saw, and we're looking at John Jones now. How does he come out? Because even his last fight, he looked great against Cyril Gane, and Cyril Gane's a young guy, and one of the younger guys coming in. He looked great against Cyril Gane.
That was a good win.
It was a good matchup. It was a good win, but that was a couple of years ago.
It was,
and again, time takes a toll, especially when you're not, when you're not fighting. It doesn't matter how long you've been in there or what, man, but it's, Kadali Budayang says Aspinall destroys John Jones.
Wow.
It could happen, man.
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, John Jones could be at that time. I love John Jones, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah. Best fighter of all time,
man. It happens to everyone, They hit the wall.
Tony Yayo says UFC needs to build a Mexican star. They're trying. They're trying. I know they're trying. They're trying to build stars. But it's difficult, like I said, it's difficult because Khabib was the other star. Conor McGregor was the other star, and they've all, so now you got a young pack where you got to develop them and they got to go through that same process. So it's going to take a while before you have a real, polarizing star over there.
Sure.
But they're good. There are tons of good fighters over there. Don't get me wrong. They're all good.
Yeah, they're good.
A lot of good fighters, man. Leon Edwards, I was surprised, he fought a wrestler last night. Leon's more of a stand-up guy. So
I like Leon Edwards. And that fight was in the UK yesterday, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, it was in the UK. And I mean, he did what he could, but he's not
Dana was mad too, man.
He's not Bilal,
He was pissed off, bro.
Yeah, he was. In fact, he changed the fight of the night, the money for the fight of the night or whatever, from 100,000 to 200 or 300,000. And he said, I'll never do it again because it doesn't change anything. He said the fighters didn't want, he was mad. Yeah.
He was pissed off.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him in that mad in a long time.
Yeah. Edward Torres says Canelo demands $200 million for Benavidez. Why are Canelo fans saying Benavidez is ducking for moving up to 175?
The problem is we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But one thing is weird is Canelo's been consistent. David Benavidez and his team have kind of been all over the place. That's
Samson's part of Benavidez's team, right?
Yeah, you just never
know with that guy.
Yeah, he's just a very disingenuous person. I've interviewed him a couple of times. I haven't, he says one thing one day and another thing
does another thing. Yeah. So, but I do believe, like I said, David Benavidez wanted that fight. I don't think there's any question about that. He wanted that fight.
Yeah, I can't say. I mean, it's just weird. The way he didn't.
Canelo didn't want to fight him. That was on record.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't like him. He didn't like the guy. So, and he said that's what with Munguia. That's what he said with Munguia. Munguia paid him a lot of respect, showed him some respect. That's why he got the fight. And Benavidez is taking the opposite approach. he runs a guy up one side and down the other, and then wonders why he can't get the fight. It just is.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you got to kiss the ring. You know what I mean? It just is.
I know.
So the only path, and I told you, what did I tell you? I told you, I told you the Benavidez fight was never going to happen. That's number one. Benavidez will go up there. Benavidez is the best 175 pounder.
Said he was going to stay there.
Period.
Too. You said it made more sense for him to stay at 175.
Yep. And I also said he's going to beat the winner of Bivol or Beterbiev.
I think he's going to win, huh?
He's smashing the winner of that. And I'm telling you right now, he's going up. He's moving up.
To cruiser?
He's moving up. Heavy.
He's going heavy?
To heavyweight.
Jesus
he is
Christ.
Big enough. He's tall. He's tall enough. He's certainly tall enough to be a heavyweight. He's
on the David Benavidez train right now today.
He's tall enough to be a heavyweight, and he's been a heavyweight before. He's been 200 pounds in his life. So he can absolutely move up to heavyweight. And he can, I think he can win at heavyweight.
Interesting.
That's why I told you, in the long run, everybody's going to be disappointed in this fight. I said, but for the long run, it's better for David Benavidez because he has a shot to do something that nobody else had done and make history in his own way.
Gotcha. All right.
So
interesting take. It could be true. I'm not
just a take. I don't know anything. I'm just a take. You know what I mean?
I'm not going to discount it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Former bantamweight Richie Sandoval. You remember him?
Sandoval, yeah.
Yeah.
Sad, yeah.
Died of a heart attack, they said, man. He was 60, only 63.
That's horrible.
And this dude was a good fighter, man.
That's crazy.
And I didn't realize this. He was an Olympian in 1980. Never went to the Olympics.
I remember
that was the year it was in Moscow, and that's the year the U.S. boycotted it.
I remember him. He was a very, very entertaining, exciting fighter back in the day.
He was good, man. You're a really good fighter, man. I hate to hear that.
May he rest in peace.
Only 63. Only 63.
My sympathies go out to the family.
Yeah, that's awful, man.
That's a shame.
Just awful. All right, let's see here. Let's go to 706. 706. You're live.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, guys?
Hey, what's happening, man?
Remember me? Jason.
Do what?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Jason, yes.
What's going on?
Not much, man.
I had to call, man. B was doing a lot of misinformation today. I had to call in. I haven't called in a while. I had to call in today. A lot of misinformation going on.
Yeah. What's the misinformation?
First of all, B was saying that Kamala Harris is the second sidekick of fucking Montel Williams. That was his daughter in that picture. B, you gotta do better research, man. That's his daughter.
Listen, they dated. It's public knowledge. They dated.
Let me get. I know that was his daughter. Also, B just made up that shit that Loma wanted to fight the winner of Shakur and Tank. Loma never said that. They just said he doesn't want to fight Tank right now. So B just made that up. Way disingenuous, B.
Nah, I've heard that too. Yeah, I've read that.
I already talked to Bob about it. I see you're wrong. I already talked to Bob about it. Bob doesn't even know who you are. I asked him about you. You know what he said?
You made that up.
I asked Bob. I said, you know this guy Jason? This guy Jason says he sits on in the negotiate. He sits in the negotiations when you're negotiating with PBC fighters. He said he doesn't know you.
He thought you was a dude at the car wash.
Yeah, he said you were the guy that grabs the coffee.
Yeah.
Wash Tank's car.
B was calling fucking Samson disingenuous. This guy's fucking making shit up like left and right on the radio. What the fuck is going on over here? Come on, man. Loma just scared. When Loma saw fucking Frank Martin on the fucking camera, he said, I can't handle that kind of power. Has Loma ever faced anybody as good as Tank in his life? I don't think so. If you want to go down his resume, he's never faced a killer like Tank. Never.
I'm on the Tank train right now. I mean, I'm starting to warm up to him a little, but I still don't like him 100% as a person. But
also,
I got to respect.
I know you've been doing Tank. I know. But I'm saying also another thing. You guys are saying Floyd is broke. That guy just posted his brand new G5 Boeing jet.
Why are we bringing up Floyd now? I have financial documents. I have financial documents that explode him going in tax lien on some of his properties.
Guy just bought a brand new jet.
Legitimately do.
Come on, man. What are we doing here? I mean, really, you guys are living in like $200,000 homes and calling somebody like $200 million broke. I mean, you guys, that's like bad for your credibility.
Okay, though, does that hurt you? Does that hurt you a little bit?
I want better for you.
Does that hurt you a little bit, though?
I want better for you. I want better for you. Please. No, I just want you guys to be more less credible. You know?
You think? Hey, Jason.
You're not
Jason, do you think the Tank Shakur fight happens?
Nobody wants to watch that garbage. Fuck something Shakur. Okay?
Who do you want to see Tank fight?
We don't want to go to sleep.
Who do you want to see Tank fight?
Anybody but Shakur. Fuck Shakur. Anybody.
I just said Shakur. Like anybody but Shakur or what?
Jason, you know why? You know why I want him to fight Shakur? Because I want him to knock Shakur out, and then you know.
I know. I want that too. I hope
that's not happening, guys. I hate to tell you.
I'll for the first time in a long time, if they fight, I'll actually be rooting for Tank because I don't like Shakur at all. I don't like the way he fights. I don't like the way he fights. I don't like the way he moves. I just don't like the guy's personality. I don't like the way he fights.
Oh, that's cold-blooded.
Also, that guy Ryan Garcia is losing it, man. Shouldn't he be the donkey of the week, like every week on your show?
Good, man.
Like a permanent donkey. Right?
I'm gonna tell you what, man. I love Crazy Ryan. Let him keep doing what he's doing because he smashed Devin Haney, boy. He smashed Devin Haney, man. So hey, he made a believer out of me. So Crazy Ryan, he needs to keep it like he is. He needs to keep it.
The amount of roids he had in the system, he would have beat Tank that night. That motherfucker was
the roids that he had in the system.
Come on now. We can't just give him a pass for that.
From Boston.
Just so you know, Montero lives down there right now. So if you get out of line, I can send him. I can send him down.
I can have him at your front door in like 6 minutes. Send him down
to you because I know where you live. I'm not going to dox you, obviously, but I know where you live. Yeah. I can send Montero down there, and he could do a little.
Yeah, he's straight.
He could do a little drum roll on your head if I ask him to.
I live in a gated country. I live in a gated country club. Bums like Montero and a lot of you guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's not what I. That's not what the record shows.
Those milk cartons out in front of your door. That's not gates, man.
That's not what the record shows.
Big difference.
I live in a gated country club.
That's not what the record shows. I mean, every now and then you'll rent an Airbnb and try to flex, but that's not what the record shows.
Come on, that's your flag. That's not. We don't do that. That's Beef's flag. Hey, what about Beef? So why are you guys bashing Gavin Newsom? What is he supposed to do? Fucking robbing house.
You just defend all the useless people in this world right now. I mean, what are we doing here?
Come on.
Are you going to defend all the useless people in this world?
Come on, Kamala's the next.
It's over.
Kamala's the next one, dude.
It's over.
Kamala's next. Come on. Kamala's sexy, bro. We got to get her in the White House. We don't need those fucking bums like Trump and Biden in here. We need a fucking good face for America. We need somebody young who can speak, you know?
All right, you go vote for Kamala. You let me know how it turns out in November. You go vote for Kamala. Go ahead.
It's Kamala. What are you talking about? It's Kamala.
Steve, you remember you said that Biden had no chance of beating Trump too, so you don't want to make that prediction again. I'm just want to remind you.
I mean, Trump already beat him. Trump already beat him in 2024. He knocked him out of the race. Trump won the rematch. There's no COVID this year, brother.
What do you guys think about that? Wait, Eric, what do you think about that couch fucker, JD Vance? You know, he likes to fuck couches. I heard what's going on with that. He's Ohio's son, isn't he?
You know that's all nonsense, right? Like it's all complete nonsense. Somebody went on like social media, said it was in his book.
I know, I'm just going. But
it's insane.
People without kids should not be able to vote. He said people without kids should have less of a vote. What kind of bullshit is that? I don't have kids.
I'll be honest with you, and this is just my opinion because I don't have kids, but I'm a very strong advocate for family. Listen to what I'm about to say because this is I believe this.
Okay.
People who do have kids, listen to this. People who do have kids look at the world differently than people who don't. You know why? Because people who have kids are looking for the future of their children.
Yeah.
They care. And so they have a different outlook on life. You have to acknowledge that. That's why I respect kids because people who have kids are looking for a better world for their kids when they're gone. So you have to, that's all that matters. That's what they're saying. And it's very important because the birth rate in this country has gone down. So people that do have kids who are contributing to society and creating productive citizens for the future of our country, I respect people like Eric who has kids and my other friends who have kids. So just because I don't have kids because I failed in life I give people credit that do have kids.
He failed
Just because I'm a loser, I give credit to people who do have kids. I'm not going to be like these other people who don't have kids. Oh, when I see my friend with his daughter playing with his kid and his eyes lighting up and creating memories and taking her places and stuff.
Yeah,
that's
great.
beautiful stuff, man. You can't take that away from people. I agree. You can't take that away from people, man. This is what we need moving forward. Trump 2024. Yeah. Yeah. Bring back the families.
Yeah, we got to vote for the guy that cheated on his wife with the porn star Stormy Daniels. That's family value, guys.
We all have our fun. We all have our fun every now and then.
Okay, come on now. Stormy said the guy is fucking doing shrimp. So no, I can't vote for somebody like that. Come on now.
What else you got?
All right, that's good to hear from you guys. Peace.
All right, man. Man, Jason coming from out of nowhere to defend Tank. Tank.
I'm always going to defend the family.
I want to wash your car.
I'm always going to defend the families of America.
There you go.
Shout out to the families of America. People who are raising their kids the right way, like Eric and Lisa, great parents in Ohio. Live in the Rust Belt where it's real in the field, not in these coastal elites. I'm getting in trouble. I'm a coastal elite, unfortunately. I live in
You're a coastal elite?
I live in Massachusetts. What a hypocrite I am.
You know, the crazy part is, it doesn't, like, whoever we vote for, you know, like, we're in those places, whoever we vote for doesn't even matter.
You used to be in a swing state. Your state's not a swing state anymore.
Not a swing state anymore. It's completely red, just like yours is completely blue. So it doesn't even matter.
Trump will lose this state by at least 25 points.
90 points.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
I hate the Electoral College.
But I'm just thinking about it. Like, think about it, though. If that was the case, then California would crown the winner of every election.
The Republicans would have a really hard time if there was no Electoral College. They would lose a lot of elections.
Yeah. Omar says, Lisa's a great parent. Eric is just supporting Cass. You could say that again. There you go. All right, guys, listen, man, that'll do it for this edition of Ringside Reporter. As always, you can catch Joe Habib on X at jhabib1, YouTube channels at ringsidereporterlive.com, and you can find me on X at ringside73. And everybody, we will see you next week.